Hello, everyone. We're back for the second last or penultimate installment of the TMTL turn-based streams. It's been a week or so now, I think, since the last stream, so lots of things have happened in the games. They're finally beginning to wrap up. I think we're in round 6 in every game, which is good. It's nice. And so, yeah, this is the second last stream I'm going to be doing for this, and we'll do one more stream at the end as like a full wrap-up conclusion and recap over the season and the games. Hopefully, I'll get some of the other guys on the stream, kind of like, again, just like copying everything Matt Lester has done. But if we can get someone else, a couple of people from the league, to join me in the last stream to talk about the games, that would be cool. Be good to have some company here doing these. But anyways, without further ado, let's get going. I think this is live. I should double check. Let me look at my phone. Yeah, okay. Seems like we're live. Oh, I need to turn my volume off. Oh, hey, Derange. Okay, I see the chat now. This charisma vacuums take up your valuable airtime. I have to. This is so much talking about myself in the stream. Need their help. Okay, so sadly, it's only my turn in one of these games. Usually it's my turn like in the morning in all the games, so I was kind of hoping that I would be able to do a bunch of moves here, but only my move in this game. But the saving grace is this is like the most interesting game, I think, or the most kind of abstract of the games. So it'll be cool to jump into this one. So you see it as live. I want to disable the sound on BGA. Is it annoying, the BGA sound? Like, can you hear it through the stream? I don't know. I'm still pretty new to doing streams. I don't actually know what works and what doesn't. I'll mute it regardless. Oh, and let me turn hexes on before I forget, right? Always a thing I need to do for this. Alright. So, halflings, fire and ice. We have, again, fire and ice factions in. We have acolytes and yetis in, as well as darklings and halflings. We have fire and ice endgame scoring. We have edge scoring here. And we're in round 6. The game is wrapping up. I'm almost done everything I'm doing in this game, and it's going really well for me. I think I'm winning this one, which is really cool because this is the one game I thought that I was screwed at by like early in the game because I went double temple. I kind of risked my connection and it didn't pay off. I got cut off by acolytes and yetis combined, I guess. So it's kind of cool. I was kind of able to score enough points here that I think it's gonna all work out in the end. Okay, so what happened since last time? I think last time we were in round 5, and either we were in round 5 or going into round 5. Round 4 was a dig round, if you all remember, and round 5 was a dwelling round. So I had digs advanced for round 4, did some digs, and in round 5, I just built TPs and dwellings. Like, I didn't take water 1, just built a bunch of earth 1 dwellings. I also formed a town in the northwest here, took everyone's favorite coin town. I really needed the coins. And as you can see, I've used all those coins. I've pretty much spent now. And this round, I did end up doing a second town in this round in the east. I was debating a lot about whether I should just like forego the second town and go for more edge hexes to fight for edge scoring. Oh, let me also turn this. I always forget to do this, but I don't need these tooltips on, so that makes it a lot cleaner, I think. Yeah. Okay, I don't have like text box popping up now as I'm doing this. Okay, that's better. But yeah, I basically ended up going for the second town over fighting more for edge or fighting for cults. I still am fighting for cults, but I maybe could have done a little more on cults if I didn't go for this town or went for a different town tile. But I ended up taking Fire 2 at the temple, taking a worker town, and just getting some extra points with that. So with where things are at now, I'm sitting at a nice 136, and I'm going to be at 151 by the end of this round. Like, I've got a ship advance coming. I'm on the ship BP bonus, which I was able to get after being behind Darklings last round who were on it. I've got a couple dig bobs coming in, and I'm going to send another priest to cult, which is it's going to be my action right now. I think I'm going to send this priest to water. I sent a priest to fire last action. Priest to water is automatic 2 points over acolytes, and I think acolytes are going to do one more dig here, so they're going to drop down air, and my my default lonely air step is going to be worth at least a point at the end of this game. Which feels great. Yeah, let's do this priest of water. All right. And so, yeah, I don't have much else to do in this game, but I think one thing you really kind of could see play out, which I saw from the start of the game, was the easy cult points that halflings could get here. Like having acolytes in the game really is not game warping, but it really does change the dynamics of the cults because acolytes send so many priests to cults and then just drop down on those cults. Like it just leaves the lower parts of the cults so open. So in this game, I was able to get 2 priests to Earth early on to get a bunch of rewards and to ultimately win Earth. Or I guess Yetis have a lot. Like they still have a town coming. They can do a power town and a bunch of priest actions. They have a temple coming, so they might still beat me up Earth. But regardless, it's going to be good points on Earth, and I'm going to get some great cheap points on Fire here. Like just Fire 2 and a Priest of Fire is going to be worth 4 points for me this game. The Water Cult's going to be, yeah, 3 points it looks like, maybe 2, but that's just 1 Priest of Water. That's like no commitment. And yeah, as I said, my base air step is going to be worth at least a point. So you get that with acolytes in the game sometimes. It's really wonky. But I think it's important, like when you're evaluating factions against acolytes, to consider that you may get cheap cult points. And in this game, I think I really benefited from it. And then Yetis really benefited from it too. Like Melison's having an amazing cult game as Yetis, and he's just having like no cult competition. Like because acolytes dropped all the cults they were high in, like Yetis are just dominating the rest of the cults this game. But the difference is that Melison's got a lot less in-game points. He is actually, I think he's getting 16 structures. Well, he's definitely getting 16 structures this game as Yetis, which is really cool. He's got digs advanced. He might have ships fully advanced. So he's going to be winning network. But for him, the sad thing is he's not doing well in edge scoring. And that's really the big difference, I think. Like, if Yetis were doing well in edge scoring, Melison would just be crushing this game all around. But he's not getting any points on edge, as far as I can tell. Like, he's got 2 more structures left. He's got 1 hex on the edge in B9, but he can't reach another edge hex. Like, it's kind of strange. Like, the edge is just so populated this game. Like, the whole 3/4 of the edge is just, like, completely built up on this map, which is pretty rare in Terra Mystica. Like, you really don't see it too much. So it's kind of, yeah, it's funny. Like, Yetis literally don't have an edge hex they can build on after B9 here. And that really hurts Yetis, because myself and Darklings are both at 6 edge structures, and Yetis are going to be at 5 after that dwelling, and so, like, they really, really want 1 more edge structure. It would really change the dynamics of how this game is going to turn out. But yeah, they can't find it with this edge competition here. So really cool to see. Just looking at your comments deranged. Oh yeah, the whoosh sounds. Yeah, I don't mind those listening to by myself, but it's probably annoying on stream, isn't it? Yeah, the Fire Ice map is really interesting. I think especially here with edge scoring, like and having 4 factions that can like naturally do pretty well on the edge. I mean, they're all digging factions, and digging factions naturally just have a kind of like an easier time just fighting for edge hexes. They can just do less on network and do more on edge a lot of the time. And in this case, like I think on Fire and Ice, a lot of brown hexes are on the edge of the map. So for halflings, like even though I didn't actually end up connecting and going to the top left, like there's 2 edge hexes here, A1 and A2, I9 and I8, which actually Darklings took both of those. But even so, as halflings, I was still able to kind of dig comfortably on the right of the map while having a good economy and really being fine with that. So it's kind of, yeah, it creates some really interesting dynamics. And so what did you say again? So people wanting Fire 2 don't need it with maps and have cheaper hexes and easier town space. Sorry, I'm a little slow this morning. It's too early for me. It's not even that early, but it's too early for my brain to be working properly. Yeah, I guess, well, in this case, all the copies of Fire 2 were taken. Yeah, okay, I guess, I don't know if it's what you mean, but Darklings took Fire 2 and are only doing 2 towns. I took Fire 2 and I'm only doing 2 towns. Only Acolytes are actually doing 3 towns with Fire 2. So it's kind of a little funky that Fire 2 was taken here with with not like a huge crazy town game. And Yetis are going to get 3 towns without Fire 2, but they're Yetis, so it's a bit easier for them. Yeah, so other things, everyone else is kind of wrapping up too. I think a big swing in the game was Acolytes beating Darklings to I5, and something I didn't see coming. But in round 4, Felipe took G6 and maybe H6 as well, or was it H6 round 5? I forget, but regardless, like Darklings started round 5 with a coins action, and Acolytes, I believe, went straight to H6 after that, actually. And then Darklings didn't have a dwelling, so they couldn't build an I5. So Acolytes kind of won that race to I5, which was big for them. Like even though Acolytes are finishing fourth here, I'm pretty sure they are going to win edge scoring, and that was a big reason why they were able to win edge scoring. But it seemed really painful for Darklings. They're still doing well. Like Darklings are still getting 9 edge points, but I think Darklings would have won edge if they won the race to I5. Not 100% sure in that, but they would certainly be beating me in edge scoring, which would be a big swing in how this game is going to turn out because Darklings and basically Halflings, Darklings, and Yetis are all kind of fighting for a top score here, and I think that kind of a swing would have been really big. So it's interesting, and in hindsight, I wonder if there's a way for Darklings to do things differently so they could have secured I5. One option, honestly, might have not been building D5, which seems kind of crazy, but just kind of foregoing that hex in order to focus more on edge hexes might have. It would definitely would have let them win the race to I5, and it maybe would have been beneficial to them. Hard to say because D5 is a natural black. It's just good to have for Darklings, but it's not really doing them a whole lot other than getting easy expansion and like good early economy, which is really important. But like I don't know, it's something that'd be worth like looking back and thinking about. They also did prioritize I9 over I6, I5, but these are also I9 and H10 are of course edge hexes too. But the thing with I6, I5 is I think it would have given Darklings a third town, no? As long as they would have, they would need Acolytes on H6 still. They would need a neighbor. Would they? Or could they just do like a big dwellings, like a splat town of dwellings? I don't know. It'd be something I'll be curious to see if FireX says anything about that after the game. But yeah, I wonder if Darklings got that territory, I think there's a decent chance they'd be winning this game, I think. But yeah, as it's playing out, I think I should have just enough here. Yeah, like I have a ship DP tile, I have a ship advance coming, I have 2 dig bombs coming. So that puts me at like I think 151, like I said, in game score, and I should be getting. Right now, I have 17 cult points. That could go down a bit, depending on if Yetis like beat me up Earth or anything like that. But I should be getting at minimum like 14 cult points, I would think, and then 9 points in edge scoring with tying Darklings for second. So that puts me in like the low 170s, and that's just enough here, I think. Like I think Darklings and Yetis are both mid 160s, so that should, yeah, that's cool. Like I said, I really didn't think I was going to win this game, so it feels good. And yeah, it's satisfying because it was kind of like the most interesting game in the set, so feels good. Anything else for me to talk about here? I don't think so. I think I'll recap my decisions more like in the last stream. I think a big one for me was choosing to open double temple, and I don't really know if that was like totally good for me because I could have secured B6 and secured connection and maybe gotten network points and more edge scoring with that. But double temple really did let me hit the track really well this game. The priest production was really useful for getting a good cult position in Earth, which is really good economically. It got me shipping. It got me a lot of expansion in round 3, which was a dwelling round, and I was able to hit that really hard. It let me take Earth 1, so like I don't know, it had a lot of upside to it. And then it also slowed down Darklings because I took the workers action right off the bat. And so Darklings had a little bit of a suppressed round 1, though not like in a huge way. But like considering they were doing really well and they're really close to me in score here, like it may have been worth it just for that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it more later. Let's move on. I actually think it's my turn in a. Oh no, it's Age of Innovation. Oh no. Okay, we're not going to deal with this. This is for myself later. Oh, it's just conversions. Okay, I can just do that. That's fine. It's so slow. I don't know why. I think I need to restart my computer. Everything's going slow on it right now. It's not a great computer in the first place, so that's part of the reason too. All right. Anyways, let's go. Let's check in on the other games. It's not my turn in the games now, sadly, but there's still lots to talk about in them. And yeah, I was tempted to kind of wait a bit later to do the stream, to wait for it to be my turn. Like it worked well last time, but I just timing wise today wasn't going to work out too well. So let's just check in on the games. And you know what? Let's check out the most annoying game first. Usually the opposite of the way I like to do things. Deranged. No, Age of Innovation is not part of the league. It's just a separate game. I've started to. It's been kind of my first few, or like I've started to play turn-based on it, just with Zorus and a couple other players, Rhonda Rice and Ryan the Man now. It's actually been really fun. I really enjoyed it. It's really kind of a different very similar to Terra Mystica, but like a different approach in terms of it being more like sandbox like and less, I guess, less tight than Terra Mystica. But right now, Zoras is just crushing us all. Like, it's come close, but I haven't beat Zoras yet. I still got a way to go to get his level with Age of Innovation. But I think I'm going to keep playing it. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so this game, this game around Fjords, we're witches, standard stuff, no extra endgame scoring, no Fire and Ice factions. And in this game, mistakes were made. Let's just say that. I should. The big thing is last time. Oh, it's been a week. I can't remember where the game was last time again, but I think we were going into. Oh no, we were in round 5, and I was deciding like how to progress in round 5. It was a TP round, so I was building TPs, but I also wanted to build dwellings, and I was deciding whether I should be digging and delaying before building to stall, or whether I should just build right away. And I decided to stall, and in hindsight, that was definitely the wrong option. Because, well, first of all, I was stalling because I was worried I wasn't going to get on a scoring bonus. I thought the way things were going to play out was that nomads were going to be passing like fairly quickly for the ship BP bonus. Dwarves would pass shortly after for their bonus, which was the big building tile, and then I'd have to stall Darklings for their scoring bonus. I wasn't in like a good position to get a scoring bonus last round, so I thought I had to be kind of sneaky with it. But really, everyone stayed in the round a lot longer than I thought they were going to. Nomads ended up doing 3 towns last round, so that just naturally led to them staying in the round a long time. Dwarves took like a worker's action. They sent a couple priests to water to get a cult dig, like things I didn't realize they wanted to do. And Darklings did kind of what I expected, but it didn't really. I don't know. It still meant that my stalls weren't necessary, and what they did was really mess up my tempo for this round. I had a lot of hexes hanging and a lot of things I needed to do to form 3 towns this round. And I thought they were pretty safe just based on the game situation, but clearly not, because Fire Axe ended up coming to C4, beating me to A6, which I had dug blue with a cult dig in round 5, but didn't have an opportunity to dig and build on it in round 6. I sadly didn't have any dwellings on my board, and I only had 1 temple up, so I couldn't get my landscape down. I had to build a 2nd temple for the landscape. And so he did take A6 on me, which is really sad. It honestly ends up being a king-making move, so it's kind of sad in that way, too. Because Fire X is, I'm pretty sure, still last place. I'm 2nd, and Felipe's 3rd, and this gives George an easy win here. Because George is somehow going to get a 4th town this game, despite having 3, like, fully built towns, which is kind of nuts. But also kudos to him, because he played it really well. But I think it was going to be really close between George and I, even with George's 4th town, if Fire X didn't take A6. So I think that kind of just decided the game. And it didn't, like, I don't know. I think I'm like 25% salt towards him for doing the move and 75% annoyed for myself for making a bad decision in delaying last round and kind of leaving the possibility of it. Like, from his perspective, it doesn't change what he was going to do this round. He could still get his dwellings out. And I thought he was going to want to build 2 temples, but he's actually a resource short. I don't know if he sequenced it quite right. Because I think he could have done the temples first. But maybe he's got something else in mind. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't really change what Fire X can do this round, but it just hurts me. But the difference is I don't think he's passing me for 2nd or 3rd regardless. Like, I don't think it actually changes the end game for him. So yeah, 25% salt, 75% a little annoyed. But I think it's okay. I think I'm still getting 2nd in this game. Luckily, my really good cult position is going to pay off here. I did take water 2 with a temple, which George was a big fan of, not surprisingly. And then I think, didn't Felipe? Oh no, George took water 2 and Felipe said nice. Okay, it was like kind of a role reversal here. Oh yeah, I said nice to him too. Yeah. So once all the dust is settled in this game, it's definitely going to be a win for George. He's sitting around 160 with his 4th town coming in. He's on chip VP, so he's going to score well from that. He's also just winning network outright. It seemed like really close as to whether I could time on network or whether he was just going to win network, but because he's getting this last structure out and he's just barely got enough for the 4th town, but because he has that, he's going to win network from that. And he's got enough in the cults, like just enough in the cults to win this game, I think. Although I should look at it a little more closely because it's possible that Fire X takes a Temple and goes Fire 3 here. It looks pretty valuable for him. It's a Temple round, so of course the Temple is 4 points. That would take away 2 points from George on Fire. You know what? Let me calc this really quickly. If there's any way I could beat George still in this game, that would be crazy. Okay, so he's at 110 now. He's got Water 1, Earth 1, so he's got 5 points of just building. He's got the town coming. Oh, I should say he has a... So he's going to convert his priest to a worker to build, and he also has his Water 2 cult step, which he's going to use in water, presumably, to get the power, so he can do this town. Oh, wait, no, sorry. So he just built a temple now, so Felipe is doing leech. So George is going to take fire, too. Okay, never mind. Never mind. George is going to get second in fire. And look at that. Felipe just declined the leech. A live move on the stream. Very exciting. Yeah, so I forgot. George is going to take fire too here. He can use the cult step up fire then. So he'll get second on fire. And I think with that, it's no competition for first. But let's just look into it quickly. So it looks like George has minimum 10 points in the cult, maybe 11. So that's 121. He's got 5 more points for building structures, 126. I think he's going to take the 11-point town. It makes the most sense, which is 137. He's got 6 points from ship VP. It's 143, and then 18 from network. That's 161. Yeah, I don't have 160 in me in this game. So no, George is definitely winning it. For me, funny enough, I actually think I can still get a third town here, which looks insane considering the resources I have and that I have 4 digs I need to do for the third town. But crazy enough, I think it works. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go for it because I think if I lose a spade action, if I lose a spade action, I definitely can't do it. But the way it would work is I have fire 2 and I have 2 shipping. I basically just need a TP and a dwelling for a town in the top left here, and I need a triple dig and landscape for a town in the top center here, I guess you could say. Oh, and I need another dig in the top left. So yeah, so I need 4 digs, a dwelling, a TP, and a ship advance. But I would have 2 towns to help me out with that. And yeah, so yeah, deranged there's landscapes in this game. That's the only reason why I'd be able to do the third town here. But basically, I think I would have to put the landscape down first, and I think I would use the landscape up air, as well as a cult step in air, which gives me 5 power. I have 7 powers. I have a double dig in hand, plus 1 extra power. And so I would just need 1 more leech to do the third town, which I thought I had. Like, Fire X is going to do a temple, and he's going to give me power with that, no matter where he goes. So that, like I'm pretty sure. I don't know what else Fire X would do here. Unless he's going to take a spade action and block me or something crazy like that. But no, I think he's always doing a temple, so that should always give me a bit of power. And I think that's just enough to do the town. For workers, I need a hard dig, TP, and dwelling, which is 6 workers. I have 5 right now, and so I can get that with a town. I can take a priest town to do that, or I could take a worker town if I need 1 extra resource. So crazy enough, I think I have enough. Yeah, so deranged. I can get 3 digs from spade power actions, like with a double dig action and a single dig action, and then just enough workers to hard dig. So that's 3 workers, 2 workers for the TP, and 1 extra worker for the dwelling, which I'd get from the town. And then the last town would be a ship town, so that would be the ship advance. So I'd have to do it with the landscape to win air and the cult step up air. I think I just have enough to do it. I also could just keep it simple and just do a second town, just do a priest town. And I think that would actually let me do an extra temple for air 1 here, or for air 3. I guess either. Actually, air 3 is just better, isn't it? Yeah, air 3 would be 1 extra point, because I'm not going to have all my TPs up. So funny enough, yeah, I think the third town works, but I don't think it's a big difference than just doing 2 towns and another temple this game. And either way, I'm pretty sure they both get me second. I'm pretty sure either way I'm in the 150s. Darklings are in like the mid 140s, and I think dwarves are in the high 140s, but not 150s here. So I don't think it really matters. Regardless, I think my next action will just be to TPC too, just to kind of wait and see where the resources stand after that. Yeah, because as it is right now, like I have a dig action available to me. Like if I want to do 2 towns, I just take a dig action and just go with that. But I really don't think Darkling's going to take a dig action. I don't think FireX is that hellbent on blocking me this game. I think he just kind of thought this was like worth doing because it doesn't cost him anything. And it's the kind of move you actually see more in live games. Like I'm just not used to it in turn-based games because usually people will calc it out and kind of see it doesn't really help them. It's just king making. But in a live game, you might just do it by instinct. So you may have just played it like that too. But yeah, I don't think. But like taking a spade action would be a much more kind of aggressive block, and it would. And he has no reason for it, so I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I think my plan here will just be to convert a power to a coin and do a TP on C2. Dwarves should pass then. What George does doesn't affect what I'm going to do. He's not giving me a leech, so I would just be able to see what FireX does and kind of fully plan out things from there. So yeah, that's this game. Getting second on it, pretty sure. I honestly think if I played round 5 better and didn't stall, and if I didn't get blocked here by Darklings in round 6, I think I would have won this game. I think I could do 3 towns cleanly. Either do two higher scoring towns, or like 1 higher scoring town and 1 coin town or something, and get an extra temple up. Like I think I had a lot that I still could have done here. And so even with George getting 4 towns, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a good shot I could have won this game. But I'm not. As I said, mistakes were made. So it's okay. Luckily, I'm still doing really well in the league, and I don't think this is going to change the end result a bit. Okay, I was kind of hoping George is going to make his decision here, because this is around the time he sometimes plays, but maybe not quite yet. Alright, let's move on to the last game in progress for me. Which is the one without FireX, this one. Alright, so this is base vanilla stuff here. Base factions, no extra endgame scoring, no landscapes. I always forget to mention landscapes if they're on or off, but there's no landscapes here. I'm nomads against dwarves, halflings, and mermaids. Again, we're in round 6, and again, George is getting 4 towns. The second game in this league is getting 4 towns. Excuse me, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's not too often that you get 4 towns in like consecutive games or like 2 games within a 4-game stretch. So it's pretty cool, and it's pretty like George is a super economic player, and he's really good at playing economically. So I'm not surprised to see him get 4 towns here again. But in this one, he's not going to have quite enough points. So in the last one, he has a lot of points with nomads. This one is mermaids. He's a little behind on points, and he's got no scoring bonus this time. And he's not like, I think we're going to tie on network in the end, and he doesn't have a lot of cult points. So in the end, he's not going to have enough here with his 4 towns, but still super cool to see a second straight 4-town game from George. For me, where am I at now? I actually just advanced digs this round. I talked a lot about this game, even early on, about wanting to advance digs, and so finally we're getting to do it, which is nice. And as a result, we're kind of seeing my score shoot up. I also did a lot of TPs last round, so once again, this game was TP round last one, not the TP round 5 game, like the Witches game. I had Water 1, I had 4 TPs to build, and I was able to build all those TPs and still kind of pass in time to get the ship TP bonus that George was on. So I had a really nice kind of sequence, really nice round 5 basically in this game, and it's going to really help propel my game here. And I have just enough resources, I think, for 3 towns here. Yeah, it's rage. Love a digging nomads game. Me too. It's pretty rare. I think like I can think of one other game I played where I had round 4 digging nomads, like in a dig round, which is really cool. I think these like round 6 digging games are a bit more common for nomads. Like I played another game against Felipe like a month ago or so where he advanced dig in round 6, but I don't know if he actually used the dig advances. It might have just been like a point, whatever, endgame point move. Yeah, but here I'm actually using the digs. I've got digs fully advanced. I have 10 workers, but I do have a lot to do. So I have fire 2, and I've already taken a worker town because I needed workers. Despite having like this many workers, I needed more. And that's because I have 5 more digs to do. So I need to dig A6, A7, E2, and then double dig E1 or F1 for the 3 towns. Which doesn't sound too bad, but I also need to do a temple and a TP and the 4 dwellings along with that. So when you count the resources, it seems like I don't have enough. Like I have 10 workers right now. A couple priests in hand though, which I'm going to convert to workers, and I also am going to be able to convert 3 power to a worker. I'm pretty sure. Let's just do the math on stream here. So I need to do a temple, a TP, and 4 dwellings. That's 8 workers, and then I need 5 digs. So I need 13 workers. And yeah, I have 10 in hand, 2 priests, and 3 power to a worker. So that's enough workers. That leaves me with 9 coins, which is not nearly enough. But I do have a town coming, and I can take a coin town with that. And looking at the coins I need, so I need 5 coins from a temple, 3 from a TP, and 8 from dwellings, which is 16 coins. So a coin town would put me at 12 coins plus 3 coins from power. So again, I'm converting 3 power to a worker and 3 power into just 3 coins. So that would give me 15 coins. And so I need 1 more coin, and I can get that either with a certain favor with my temple. So I could take Earth 3, Fire 3. Like I said, I would take Earth 3. I could do that for the resource, but I also know that George is going to give me power at some point. For his 4th town, like George is going to do a sanctuary town in the center here with C3, D5, and either B3 or A8. And so whenever he builds that dwelling, he's giving me at least 1 leech, and he also has to build a TP there, which will give me the 2nd leech, and that's just enough for me. Exactly enough for the 3rd town. And I don't think there's any way George can outstall me, because I have digs advanced, so I can slow play it if I need to. George has a spade in hand, so like the slowest George can possibly go is before that, George like needs towns for resources. Like he only has 3 priests, which are 3 workers for him basically, and he needs 5 workers. So he's going to do a dwelling, take a priest town, do another dwelling, take a power town, and use the power for a worker. And then he can do TP, dig, and dwelling. So at max, George has 1 action, 2 actions. I guess he could use the power to take a priest action from the power town, then dig, then build a dwelling, then do the TP. So he has 6 actions maximum, whereas I have temple, TP, dwelling. Like I have 6 actions, but I can delay with digs. So I'm pretty sure it's fine. I'm pretty sure I can get the leash with him from him building around me. I was looking at the comments. Coin Town. I'm much bigger on Coin Towns than some players, I think. Like even late in the game, like sometimes I think it's worth it. In this case, I think the 3rd town is worth it. Because I'm on the ship BP bonus, and with the 3rd town, I could take a ship town. So I don't think the 11 point or 9 point towns are going to be here, but a ship town for me is going to be like an 11 point town. 4 points from the shipping advance, 4 points from the town itself, and then 3 points from the bonus. So in this case, the 3rd town I think is really good for me. I mean, I could go for 2 towns and take like a higher scoring town and just try to do a ship advance manually. But like I really do want 15 structures as well to fight network, and so like regardless, I'm gonna want to build temple, TP, and 4 dwellings. The only difference is that like I could avoid a double dig, I guess, if I didn't do a 3rd town. But like I don't know. I do have a free hex on B1 and I guess H1. Oh, I guess I could save 3 workers if I don't do the 3rd town. That actually could be worth considering if it's worth it. But I need the resources anyways from a coin. Like I don't think there's any way around needing coins for me here. I could save if I save 3 workers. I'd be using 1 priest for a ship advance. Oh, I need the coins for the ship advance too. So no, I think I need too many resources. I think going for the 3 towns is worth it this game. George could build B3. Yeah, it's annoying. The worst case scenario is it's a 2 for 1 leech for me. I lose 1 point. It's oh well. He probably will. Like knowing George, he'll probably do that. It also gives dwarves a leech. Well, actually, maybe not, because it gives dwarves a leech. Although I don't think it changes anything for dwarves. And I think no matter what, George is 4th this game, so I don't think it really changes much. But for me, I actually do want every point I can get this game. Like I think it's really close particularly between myself and Felipe Halflings. Felipe has another town coming in the top right here. So he did a sanctuary at A12. He's going to do an expensive TP on one of these 2 hexes for the town. He has fire too, so that'll form a town for him. I'm pretty sure he's going to do that, take the 11 point town. If he gets a leech, maybe do a ship in advance. If he doesn't get the leech, maybe send the priest to water and hope he can win water off of mermaids from that, or tie for the win in water. And that's a lot of points. Like he's on the dwelling VP bonus, so that's some extra points. He's got Air 1, which is more pass points. So I think this puts Halflings somewhere in the high 150s to 160 range. And for me, the only way I get to that range is if I take a scoring favor with my temple. So like I talked earlier about if I could use a temple to get this last like resource if I need to for the towns, but I really, really, really don't want to do that. I'd be costing myself basically 8 points because Earth One is sitting here, and so if I can take Earth One, I'm doing 4 more dwellings this round, which is 8 points. And yeah, that's really kind of what I need in this game. But the other consideration to the other issue with that is that Melisande just advanced dig as dwarves, and I think it's pretty clear that Melisande is going to be digging down more dwellings. He has just enough coins to build 3 dwellings. He's got enough workers to tunnel and dig twice, right? Yeah, he can tunnel and dig twice and then just straight up dig the last dwelling down. And the problem is he's threatening A6. And I'm gonna have to think about this because I could dig A6 and not build, and in hopes I can sneak Earth 1 and then build it. But there might be justification for Melisande to just dig bomb A6 because I don't know if he needs all 3 dwellings to compete with dwarves on network. Like, it's clear that dwarves are not going to catch nomads or mermaids on network here. Like, George and I are both getting to 15 structures. Melisande can't get past 14. He's not even close to the 15th. But Felipe can get 13 structures max, but I don't think he's going to do it. Like, I don't think it's worth it for him to. Well, what would he have to do? You could do it with a priest town. Maybe you could do. So you'd have to do expensive TP. Oh no, but George is going to take the priest town now, so never mind. That's a moot point. George is. I guarantee George is going to build a dwelling on either D1 or I2 and take the priest town. Okay. So, is there any way halflings would still build this dwelling? I doubt it. Like, I feel like they can see that dwarves can get to 14 structures. So halflings definitely just take the 11-point town and just go for points here. And once halflings do that and they're clearly not fighting network, then Melisande has no incentive to build all of his dwellings. He might just be content to dig bomb or do other things because he'd be getting third on network regardless. And so I think from his perspective, then, if I were to dig and not build A6, I think Melisande could dig bomb it to screw me off a third town. And because he's competing with me, like he's doing pretty well himself, I think this is a situation where the block could be worth it for him. I have to, like, when it's my turn, I'll think about it. I'll calc it out a little more, but I'm pretty sure. Actually, you know what? While I'm sitting here, I'll calc it out. What does he have? So Melisande has 22 cult points, and that looks like how it's gonna be for him. He has his dig advances already. Right now he could just do 3 dig bombs. It might be in his best interest, honestly. Wait, that would come at 125. That would have been like 153 or something. I don't know. Is doing 3 dig bombs better than doing 3 dwellings? Maybe not. Wait. I mean, so Melisande doesn't have to take A6. Like he could take D6 and I11 and then just do a single dig and build an I12. Like he can get 3 dwellings down without A6. But again, I think if he disrupts me, it might help him beat me in this game. Yeah, I don't totally know, but I'm a little afraid this game of just digging A6 and not building. One way or another, I have to secure A6 next action. Like I can't risk. I think if I leave it open, he would take it. Like I think if I greeted out and like took Earth 1 with my next action, like he would take A6 because he should take A6. So I can't do that. I need to either dig it or dig and build. I do think every point's important. Like if I build it, I might lose to Felipe. Whereas if I try to stall off the extra point, so I might be able to beat him. I think it's really close between us. I also could take Air 1 instead of Earth 1, and Air 1 will be 6 points. I'm going to have all my TPs up, so that's 4 points. And this cult stuff on Air, I think is worth 2 points, although maybe George can. Like, he's so many towns. His last town might be a power town into priest action or something like that. So I'm actually not sure. But then again, Earth 1's 6 points, even if I build this dwelling. So regardless, I'd probably just take Earth 1. Yeah, Duran's, the argument for not building is wanting to greed the extra 2 points, wanting to dig A6 to secure the hex, and then take Earth 1 and then build it. It seems really greedy, but it honestly is a game where I might need the extra 2 points to win. At the same time, I think I can just, even if I get second in this game, I think it's fine. I think I'm winning the league. I've already won two, or I've won one game. The Halflings game, I'm pretty sure I'm winning. The Witches game, I'm coming in second. So I with another second place, I should be fine to win the league. So I might just have to play for that and not play super greedy. Yeah, Melson just advanced dig to range. So yeah, I attempt like he literally the last action of this game was Melson advancing digging. So I have digs fully advanced. I have tempo on A6. Yeah, otherwise Melson would have taken it already on me. But yeah, kind of a funny decision. I think I'm just going to build A6. I think I'm just going to, especially after getting blocked last game, I'm a little worried about it happening again. And I don't think it's worth the risk in this game. I think if I have to settle for second, it's fine. I'm just greedy. I like winning. I'm competitive. I want to win these games. I also really want to get an 800 on this account. It's a nice little goal of mine now, and I at this point I need to win games to get elo. Second place doesn't do the trick. But I gotta, I don't know. I can just, I'm pretty sure if I get greedy and delay, or I shouldn't say I'm pretty sure, but I think there's a very good chance I could end up in third this game if I get too greedy. So I think I just have to go ahead and build a dwelling. Yeah, exactly, fatty. Like if I don't take the if I don't do anything, he's definitely just gonna build A6. And I think like if I were just to dig and not build, I think he would just dig, or I think he should at least just dig bomb it. Like exactly, I was saying it before. He doesn't need all of his dwellings. He's not fighting anything on network here other than third, which he should have. So I'm pretty sure the right decision is just to build it. Just suck it up, deal with missing out on 2 points, and just let the cards fall as they will. Or what's the expression? Let the chips fall as they will. I don't know, but yeah, just let things happen. Basically, I tried to get too fancy in the witches game and it burned me. So I think we just play it safe here. Am I 100% settled on three towns deranged? I think so. I'm pretty sure it's worth it. Like I need the resources regardless. And being on ship DP just makes the third town really valuable, even if it's a low scoring ship town. So I think I'm settled on three towns. It is really weird to leave open like B1 and H1. Like it's kind of sad. It would have been really nice to be able to build these hexes, but I think three towns are better. I don't see how two towns gets me more points. I'd be able. I don't think I can even take a higher scoring town. First of all, I don't have tempo on them. Like I'm nowhere near towning, and George has two towns coming, which again I'm confident he's going to take a priest town, and I'm confident Felipe is going to take the 11-point town. So it's not like I get a high scoring town with the third town or with just going two towns. So yeah, I'm very confident that three towns is the right play. Yeah, exactly like Patty said. I need the coin town regardless. So yeah, definitely three towns here. But yeah, it ended up being a really good game. I had a really nice passing sequence in the last few rounds. I was on ship BP round 4, dwelling BP round 5, and now ship BP again round 6, which is what I really like wanted as nomads this game. Like I was a little bit afraid jumping to nomads because there are only two scoring bonuses in the game, and so being able to kind of swap the like jump back and forth from those at the end of the game, I think is really fueling my game here. Because I don't have Earth One yet, at least. I built a lot without Earth One this game, and I did get a lot of Water One TPs, but I'm not doing very well in cults. I'm gonna tie for the win on network, I think, and I'm not. I have good in-game score. Actually, going to be very good in-game score with a third town. I think I'll be passing in the high 130s. But yeah, that's only because I've been hitting these bonuses well. So things have gone really well for me overall this game. Got a really good early economy, which has kind of helped get things rolling. But yeah, I don't know if it's enough. Like Felipe had a really good game here, and I think it's really cool. Really cool example of double East halflings just being the right play. Um, it was a game. So for anyone that doesn't know, this game had round 3 digs, and so halflings went double East. They started coin cult step and got single dig down to G5 H7. Got a spade in Earth with the cult step, and then they built more dwellings round 2, which was a dwelling round, into advancing dig and digging some hexes round 3. And yeah, he just played this really well. He ended up getting the Tukey town, which is something I didn't mention yet, and I thought that Mellison was going to be able to get as dwarves. But in hindsight, actually, I don't know if Mellison wanted it. Like, he got 2 8-point towns and seems really happy with that, based on the cult position. The Tukey town wouldn't really do anything. Maybe he would swap the positions on, like, air or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe he would change that. But regardless, halflings getting Tukey town is definitely was nice for them. And yeah, I thought Felipe was going to go like a pure tall 2-town game, but he ended up kind of shipping in the north here and squeezing out a third town with his sanctuary. I also think I remember mentioning it, but Felipe had an option of kind of coming to A7 and shutting down my third town here, which if I were to beat him, like I wonder if he'd regret that, not doing that. But I don't. In the end, it might not matter. Like we'll see. But yeah, like a super nice halfling game from Felipe. And the consequence of him going double east was that it gave me the center and gave me a really nice game. So it kind of was good for both of us, and I think we're kind of seeing that play out here. Um, yeah, exactly, Thad. He was really nice that he decided to play East. I thought there was a decent chance it was going to happen when he was on Halflings. I thought he might do it, so I was the big reason why I jumped to Nomads. But I think in hindsight, I could have gotten away with bidding down Halflings one more tick. Like they were at 38 points when I jumped to Nomads, and I think with round three digs, like they're always going to have a good game starting double East, getting like the coin cult step spade into cult dig combo at the start with Earth 2. So I think I could have actually bid Halflings down a little more, maybe had a bit of more secure position here. But I just, yeah, partially wanted the game to just move on. I wanted the games to get going, partially because I thought Halflings could just start double East and that would be really good for Nomads. I just wasn't sure if it was better for Nomads or for Halflings. And I think this game kind of shows it's almost equally good for both. I don't know. But yeah, everyone gets a better game, except for, I mean, Mermaids, funny enough, I think. Because, like, I don't know. Mermaids don't get a worse game from this, but Mermaids were a bit down heavily, and they're not getting any leech from halflings. I mean, they're having a really good game from still. Like they're getting 4 towns. They're getting leech from me, but I think because nomads and halflings are doing better, because it also makes mermaids and dwarves like slightly less because they're a bit down heavy in the auction or slightly worse. But that being said, yeah, George is having a 4 town game, and Melison's still scoring I think mid 150s here. So yeah, they're both still having really good games. Deranged, think halflings should start double east in this color wheel specifically. Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see a shift in that. Like, it's always a question as it is admittedly a bit of a downside with the auction is that you tend to bid on start like where you expect starting placements will be, and so halflings going double east like really does shift the evaluation because it's really good for nomads too. So I wonder if we'll start to see like if we'll see any kind of shift in meta like in this color matchup on base map with halflings specifically, if we'll see people jumping to halflings and also jumping to nomads earlier in the auction because halflings are going to be expected to start double east. And yeah, I think especially with round 3 or round 4 dig round, it makes a lot of sense because otherwise halflings either have to advance shipping to try to find a second town and just dig through G6 if they start in the center, like because they only have one dwelling out in the east. So they do like a big blob town in the east and maybe try to ship up to A7 and B3 and get a second town. But the problem is you're fighting nomads for that territory, and nomads often can get there more easily than halflings, so it's a bit of a struggle. And so yeah, going double east means you're not fighting for that. You're just kind of doing what you want. And especially when you have round 3 or round 4 digs to like cash in with that, like I think it could be a really good idea. Yeah, exactly, Drained. Mermaids lose out the most. Yeah, Gray gets really good leech from Halflings. That's a good point. So Halflings starting double east. Melison's gotten tons of leech this game from that, and he's also gotten good leech from me in the center here, which he would get regardless, like whether Halflings are on E6 or whether Nomads are on E6, but he's just getting extra leech from Halflings in the east. So yeah, it's also really good for Dwarves. Mermaids are just naturally strong in this color wheel. I do wonder in this game, like, so George, as I said, is getting 4th with 4 towns. He had an option in round 1, like a really interesting decision with this bonus in round 1. And he had the option to either take a priest and go with a slower, like, onboard economic strategy, but a cultier strategy, or he had the option to take worker power and open temple for dwellings, which is what he did. Like, he went worker power, but the problem, or I say problem, because again, he's having a really good game, but the scoring wise, the issue with that was that in this game, like rounds 2 to 4 were like dwellings, digs, and dwellings. And so like he wasn't able to hit those rounds as hard with building a bunch of dwellings early. And the cult rewards were also really good. So the spade round meant there was the coin cult reward for Earth, and dwarves ended up with a priest because of Mermaid's decision to take worker power. And so Melison got like a lot of coins from that, and Mermaids got no coins from that. And I wonder if, because I thought with Mermaids, like I would have gone priest, take the priest bonus, go priest to Earth, and maybe go Earth 2. And so that plays the cult really nicely. They also had the water reward round 2, which was the extra priest, which he still got, but I think it's stronger when you're having a strong cult game. And so I think it's an extra path or like a separate line that he could have gone that might have been better. Like it's hard to say because you definitely don't get 4 towns that way. Like you get max 3 towns, but you probably still get 15 structures. Or maybe I don't know. I don't think you get 4 towns, but maybe if you get 4 towns that way, it's got to be stronger. Right? I'm a little skeptical because I think you get a slow on board economic start, but you also might be able to find a way to get Earth 1 there, which in this game you just had Water 1, so you missed out on Earth 1 points. I don't know. It's a completely different line, but it maybe would have been better for mermaids here. Mermaids are a horrible faction? Oh, I disagree, Fatty. Especially when ship VP is in the game. That they can be amazing with ship VP in the game. I say amazing, like they're never on the level of like cultists or like darklings or envies when everything goes right for them, but like I kind of see mermaids and nomads as similar strengths faction wise personally, and so yeah, I don't know. I think mermaids could. I've had some really good mermaids games. I've seen some really good mermaids games. Like they're definitely like an average strength faction compared to other factions, but I don't know. They've always got lots of potential. Yeah, on the warpath. Yeah, yeah. That is an interesting thing with ship VP is you can get denied it more as mermaids. But in this game, it was really just me fighting for it. Like I guess Felipe would have taken it. Like he had 1 ship, but Dwarves really didn't want it. Like Melson could have taken it as a denial play. Not like he didn't have any option to do it this game, but like in general, dwarves can do it as a denial play. But it's not really good for dwarves to do, and especially when you're fighting against like when everyone's having a good game, those denial plays are much less powerful. Like if it was clear that mermaids were in the lead, then I could see a denial play on Ship DP being important. But in this matchup, I actually don't think there was a ton of pressure on Ship DP for them. And George, so another interesting decision by mermaids, which I mentioned last stream, but I'll mention again since we're talking about it, was last round they passed on the ship VP, and they were passing last, and I thought they had an option where they could have passed on a spade last round, had a fairly fast round, and then pass quick, or not quickly, but then pass on the ship VP after doing what they wanted to do last round, and I think that could have worked. Like, it was a TP round last round, I had 4 TPs to build, halflings had like 4 TPs to build, and dwarves, in addition to not really wanting ship VP themselves, they also had stuff to do last round. I was pretty sure that George could have gotten away with taking the spade bonus, using the spade, doing TPs, and still passing on the ship VP. That would have gotten him a few extra points, although admittedly not enough this game still. Even if he ends up on 5 shipping, which he might if he takes a ship town at the end, that would be. He was on 3 ship last round, so it'd be six extra points. It still wouldn't be enough, but it was another little thing I think that he maybe could have optimized here. Too generous? Wait, too generally? Okay, maybe you mean generous, but yeah, mermaids are like they're. I kind of see them as like a hybrid. I guess they're an economic faction, but I see them as a bit of a hybrid between economic and scoring, just because they start on like at least with ship VPs in the game because they start on 1 ship, so they have basically inherent scoring with ship VP, but also the extra ship advance being 5 points and hitting that with ship VP if you can get it. So they're kind of like that's why I actually think they're a really interesting faction and kind of why I've been able to make them work tall in a couple of games because they have extra scoring potential that other factions don't. But they're kind of like they really like otherwise they're a much more economic faction. Like starting with 1 ship and being able to skip water spaces for towning. It just means they don't have to dig quite as much for towns, do awkward digging, and obviously the starting with the shipping is nice. So yeah. Yeah, this is actually as far as base map vanilla factions go. This is a pretty interesting one with the double E's decision. It really did kind of make for an interesting case study. And yeah, again, I'm really curious to see if we see more double E's halflings in the future in this color matchup, kind of like you said, Fatty. Or deranged. I forget who said it, but I kind of agree with that I think it makes a lot of sense and we might see it more. All right, so we'll finish up like we did last time by checking out the other game. Let's go to Felipe's account. Okay, let's go to his games. Where is the one without me? It's this one. Thanks, Derange. Yeah, thanks for being in the chat for talking. It's nice to see you. Nice to have some conversation here. I know it's kind of challenging because of these streams because it's like a competitive game, and so it's like I don't want too much advice basically. But we're at the point in the game now where it doesn't really matter too much. Like most of the game's decided, so a little easier to be talkative now, which is good. Yeah, I like to interact. Like I find it by myself talking in these streams a little strange, so good to have some chat. Yeah, so Fatty, let's see. You have a leg up an expansion because of your initial shipping, but the maps are made considering it, so you don't really. Somewhat, yeah. Like you don't have like I guess there's none of the maps where you have like a hex right away from the one ship, right? As mermaids, like every map, you either need to go to two ship or you need to dig for the initial shipping to be useful. So like it is a leg up because you don't have to pay a priest and 4 coins for that shipping. Like it's basically like starting with those resources, but also having the tempo. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like if a map was like if you were green, let's say, and had a starting mermaid's ability, it would be ridiculous. Like being on base map with green, starting with one shipping, like you would just be able to dwelling rush every game and get so much economy. But yeah, they designed the maps in mind so that mermaids couldn't do that. I would actually be curious. I know someone has made base maps with the hexes colors all changed, so like blue could have that situation where you could just you could just immediately get a bunch of dwellings out with one dig as mermaids. It would be kind of interesting to like see just how strong they are with that. That's for another time, anyways. Okay, so the other game going on here, and yeah, people feel free. Anyone in the chat who wants to talk about this game, like say whatever you want. I'm not in the game; it's not going to affect anything I do. So we have again Fire and Ice, arguably the most interesting map in Terra Mystica, I think. But this time we have no extra endgame scoring, we have standard factions, and we have landscapes. And the first thing I noticed right away is this Halfling Stronghold. So we've got a nice little tall Halfling game from Fire Hex, which I remember talking about, but I did not think he was going to build a Stronghold. And I thought he wasn't doing that well, but he is getting 2 towns here with Earth 1 points. He's not doing that well in cults. Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, it looks like this game is between giants and mermaids, kind of looking at it right now. I was really high on Melissa's Witches before, I remember that, but he has a lot of issues, it looks like here. He only has 1 town. The third town's not super clear where it's going to be. And he doesn't have a ton of resources. He needs 3 shipping to connect, so I think he has too much that he needs to do. Whereas Giants still have a third town coming. Giants are doing shockingly well on cults. Like George is a cult locked up already. He has an easy second on fire, and he's got maybe an easy second on water as well, and a third on air. So Giants are somehow like doing super well in cults this game. He has a pass scroll as well. He's got Earth 1, Water 1. He's got points chugging in with that. So a very nice Giants game from George here. And Mermaids from Felipe are looking really good. And I think he's doing a really kind of crazy third town in the south here with Stronghold on the H8, Temple on I7, the landscape, and he's going to triple dig H7. Yeah, that has to be it. Like, which is really cool. Not a Mermaid's town I've ever seen before. But he's doing all this while being on the ship PvP bonus in round 6. So talking more about mermaids, and I remember last time I saw this game thinking that mermaids were going to need to hit ship PvP hard to have a shot at this game, and it's clear that he is. And he's also doing that while getting a lot of network points. Wait, he's going to be able to... He's going to be able to triple dig H7 and still like win network? Oh my gosh. He has B3, so he has another hex. He can do EP2 dwellings, but he wants advanced ship too. So I don't know what exactly is in his best interest to do, but he's got a lot like that he still can do. And last time we checked, mermaids were really behind in scoring. I didn't know if they had enough to catch up, and clearly they do, or they at least have a lot here where they're making a very good game out of it. They're also winning 2 cults pretty cleanly, scoring some good points in Earth, and yeah, again winning network. So that seems really good for mermaids. So it's got to be between mermaids and giants here. I'm not totally sure who's winning, and I'm not going to do the math to figure out who's winning right now. But I think that means that like it paints a clearer picture of the league where it's definitely me, George, and Felipe fighting for the win in the league. The thing is that Felipe is going to finish 3rd in my Witches game, and George has already finished 3rd in the Fakir's game and is going to finish 4th in the Mermaids game, and so I don't think George is enough to compete. And then with the 1/3 place, like, I think I'm likely getting 2 firsts and 2 seconds, although maybe Dwarves are doing better than I think in the base map game. Maybe they could beat me. But I don't know. Regardless, Felipe, if he wins the Halflings game, he's finishing 3rd in the Dwarves game. Maybe he wins this game, and then... Oh, no, he's finishing last in the Fire and Ice game that I'm in with my Halflings game. So no, it's fine. Yeah, I should be winning the league. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But yeah, we're seeing another monster Mermaids game on Fire and Ice here, so fun to see. And it just shows how good they are in this map. Like, wow. Oh, that was you, Fatty. The color shifted maps. Okay. Oh, we should play one time or with anyone. But yeah, I'd be down to try it. I'm really curious. I think it would just create some interesting things. And, oh, imagine also what about Fakirs on green on base map? Like if yellow was green terrain, like having those easy flights for Fakirs. Like imagine you can just open double temple and just not need to expand range and just fly everywhere, like right off the bat, just one spade. Like that seems super strong to me. That would be really cool. If they were like on green terrain and had no color neighbor, that would yeah. Anyways, I won't think about it too much here. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to talk too much more about this game. We'll just kind of see it play out as it does. Um, yeah, yeah. I think we'll end things there. I've gone on for a while now. So, as I said, we'll do one more stream at the end. Hopefully, get some people to join me to share the airspace in a little debriefing, so you can hear some of their voices. That's not just my voice. If not, I'll just kind of show the end game states of all the games and just briefly kind of go over what went well for me, what went poorly, whatever, stuff like that. So, anyways, thanks Strange and Fatty for joining me in the chat. Whoever else is watching, thank you, and see you next time.